Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week 34 of the 25-26 EFL Championship season. But before we begin, let's see how I did last week. I got 2 outcomes correct, so that is 2 points, taking my season total up to 242. And this is how the table looks after 33 matches, and without further ado, let's predict this midweek's matches. And we're going to start with a big match tonight. It's Middlesbrough against Leicester City. And Borough could only draw 0-0 with Oxford last week. Leicester with a 1-1 draw against... a 2-2 draw against Stoke. But Leicester, they are still in the drop zone. I think in the long term, they will be alright this season, but they're travelling away to Middlesbrough, and Borough have been flying this season. That 0-0 draw against Oxford isn't the greatest result, especially given Coventry beat West Brom. But I do think that Borough will go back to winning ways at home here. I'm going to back Borough to win 2-1. I think... Borough need to win to keep the pressure up on Coventry for the top spot, and I think they will do it here. 2-1 Borough. And then we've got a big game down at the bottom end. It's West Brom against Charlton Athletic. And this is an interesting one. Charlton with the 1-1 draw against Southampton at St Mary's last week. West Brom with the 2-0 defeat to Coventry. And I'm worried about West Brom now. I cannot remember the last time they won a match. And Charlton they've been on a fairly decent run of form recently. But I do like West Brom at the Hawthorns, and despite their poor run of form, if I had to pick a winner, I would pick Charlton here, but I might go for a draw. I might sit on the fence here with a 1-1 draw. I think West Brom have got to start to get something. They're looking really poor right now, but I do think West Brom might get something here. A 1-1 draw, which wouldn't really help their survival chances, but a 1-1 draw is where I'm going. Next up, we've got Hull City against Derby County. And this is a tricky one as well. Hull, their form has tailed off quite a bit now. They're not on a good run of form at all. They've dropped to 5th in the table. They're still in the playoff discussion, and I do think they might still get in there. They're against the Derby side, who are one of the best sides on the road this season. This is tricky because for some reason, given Hull's poor run of form, I don't really want to back Hull to win. But I can't exactly see Derby winning either. I'm going to go down the middle again with another 1-1 draw on this one. Given this is 5th against 6th, Derby have dropped to 8th, but given this is a huge playoff battle, I don't think either side is going to want to lose. So I think it's going to be drop points for both, but a 1-1 draw on this one for both to maintain their playoff push. Next up, we've got Wrexham against Portsmouth, and Wrexham are the side to move into that playoff spot in 6th place. Both these sides are off the back of very impressive wins over the weekend. Wrexham beating Ipswich 5-3 in a bonkers game. Portsmouth beating Millwall 3-1, and Millwall are somewhat chasing their top 2 this season. I can see goals, because at times this season Wrexham games have been very crazy, and I think Wrexham might win. It is at the racecourse, and I have been impressed with Portsmouth's run of form recently, but Wrexham's just looks better, and at home, I think Wrexham will win. But I'm going to go crazy with goals. I'll go Wrexham to win 4-2. I think Wrexham need to keep winning to, maintain a push for the playoffs, and I think they'll do it 4-2 to Wrexham. Next up, we've got Watford against Ipswich Town, and this is another tricky one. I don't entirely trust Ipswich on the road, but they are off the back of the 5-3 defeat to Wrexham. Watford have played alright since Ed Steele came in. Wrexham are in good form, but Watford are in good form, but Ipswich, they did lose, but they did score 3 goals against Wrexham, and I think Ipswich might win here to keep the pressure on, because I don't think Ipswich played terribly against Wrexham. I think Ipswich are going to get a fairly rare, as of currently, rare away win here. I'll go Ipswich to win 2-1, a huge away win, and that should keep the pressure on the top 2 or 3 at the top of the table. So 2-1 to the Tractor Boys. Next up, we've got Swansea City against Preston North End. And, well, I've just got to go with a Swansea win here. It's a tremendous run of form, is what I'm trying to say. A tremendous run of form for Swansea right now. Preston, they can't really find a way to score a goal at the minute, let alone find a result. I've got to go the Swans. Swansea are on a great run of form. I'm going to back Swansea to win 2-0. They are at home, and Preston they've been getting results over the line here and there this season, but, well, in recent times, but just Swansea's run of form backs me to tip them 2-0 to the Swans. Huge 3 points to push towards mid-table. Next up, we've got Blackburn Rovers against Bristol City. And this is an interesting one. Blackburn, since their new manager has come in, 2 wins on the bounce, and they are very much, I think they're 6 points clear of the drop zone now. Blackburn are on good form, but I feel like you don't really know what to expect from Bristol City recently. They hardly ever find a way to string 2 results together at the minute, which is why they've fallen to mid-table, but I've just got to go with Blackburn. It is at Ewood Park. I like the form they're on at the minute. I'll back Blackburn to win 2-1. I think it'll be a huge 3 points to move even further from the drop zone and maybe even towards the mid-table positions here. But 2-1 to Blackburn is where I'm going. Next up, we've got Southampton against QPR. And this is a big match as well. Southampton with the 1-1 draw against Charlton. QPR with a very impressive 3-1 win against Hull. But QPR are like Bristol City. You hardly ever know which side's going to show up. They could come here and draw, but Southampton we've been on a fairly good run of form recently. I can just see Southampton snatching it. I'll go Southampton to win 2-1. I think they'll just have enough to edge it. Maybe it's a draw and then Southampton finally find a winner. But 2-1 to the Saints to march on towards the playoffs. Next up, this is a big game tomorrow. It's Sheffield United against Coventry City. A side that's going for automatic promotion against a side who is pushing for the playoffs. They are mid-table, and unless they went on a really, really good run of form, I don't see the Blades making the playoffs. But this is tricky because Coventry, they've won back-to-back away games, I think. Well, but they are No, I think it's just back-to-back games, actually. But they are on, they're on a good run of form, but Sheffield United have just relegated Sheffield Wednesday, and I think they're going to come into this game on fairly high confidence. This is a tricky one. Maybe I might have just edged Coventry if I had to pick a winner. But I think there'll be goals. But I'll sit on the fence with a Desmond. A 2-2 draw on this one. I think Chris Wilder's boys will find a way to get a result from this match. And Coventry, despite that win 2-0 against West Brom over the weekend, they haven't been the best on the road recently, so I think they might drop points again here, 2-2, to make the title race interesting again. Next up, we've got Norwich City against Sheffield Wednesday, and my condolences, Sheffield Wednesday. It's been a very tough season for you, very tough indeed. They've now officially been relegated by the Blades. They travel to Carrow Road, who I like Norwich at home. They tend to grind results together, and I know quite a few Norwich fans think they can make the playoffs. I think they could, but they'd have to go and win almost every single game that they have left of the season. And I don't think they'll quite do that, but I think they might finish mid-table, maybe even top 10. I can see top 10 being a possibility with their run of form, certainly. But there's a lot of traffic in front of you. I just wonder, now that Sheffield Wednesday has been relegated officially, do they go and perform? Or do they, tail off again? I think they might find a goal here. They did find a goal last week against Sheffield United. But I think Norwich will win. I'll go back the Canaries to win 3-1. I think Sheffield Wednesday will find a goal, but I do think the Canaries will win 3-1 to Norwich. Next up, we've got Millwall against Birmingham City. And this is another interesting match because Birmingham, they went all out in the January transfer window and they've been on an excellent run of form recently. Millwall were on a very good run of form themselves, but they did lose 3-1 to Portsmouth over the weekend. This is a tricky one because Millwall are at home, and do they go back to winning ways here? I don't know. I can see a draw playing out here. But I don't know if, I've seen it many, many times where a team loses and then they lose back-to-back games, like Sunderland in the Premier League. They lose a run of form and then they go back-to-back defeats. And I think Birmingham are in a good moment right now. I'll back the Blues for a 2-1 win, a very big win for Birmingham and a costly defeat for Millwall in the the top 2 race. But I'm going to back Birmingham 2-1 to Brom. And then finally we've got Stoke City against Oxford United. And this is a battle of two sides who are really struggling for goals right now. They hardly ever score a goal in, this game looks like the most obvious 0-0 to me. Oxford with a very impressive 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough. Stoke actually did score 2 goals, 2-2 draw against Leicester. If I had to pick a winner here, I would pick Stoke. But they've suffered a few 0-0s themselves recently. And Oxford have... it hasn't been great goal scoring form for them either. I'm going to go 0-0. I think a point wouldn't be the best result for either, but I do think it might end goalless, just a 0-0 draw, so a point apiece. And there you have it, guys, all 12 championship matches for this midweek predicted. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. And we'll come back later in the week for the weekend's fixtures and to predict them and see how I did in the midweek. I'll see you all in the next one.